Check, check, double check, audio check. I think we are right on time. Hello everybody, welcome here, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well today. It's going to be a fun episode. We're gonna see Alphonse Mucha. I'm gonna mispronounce it probably, so all my Czech friends, please correct my pronunciation. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm probably going to butcher it all the time, but that's how it is. That's how it is. But it's all done with love, because I really love this artist. It's always been not a main inspiration, but recently it's been an inspiration of mine. Because I'm really very big in a kind of a sort of a stylistic shift. I'm really digging. I'm doing lots of research, trying to find new ways to find new subjects, find new approaches, and I'm trying to feed myself with as much art that's not typically what I do, and learn as much from artists that are like miles away from my normal work. With Mucha in this case, it's kind of it's a little bit more, because I'm more linear, and I have this geometric approach in some of my compositions that's more familiar to me, but I'm trying to get out of my way, and especially I want to start painting leaves and flowers. And by the way, while I say hello to everybody, hello Cody, hello Charles, hello Balsam, Tantalus, Gary, wow, good to see you back. Roaring Spark, pronounce Mucha, pronounce Mucha. Oh my god, I hope I can. Oh my god, that's totally like changing how I understand the pronunciation, but whatever. Let's start. Like I said, I'm gonna mispronounce it. That's how it works. But yeah, as I say, so what I want is I want to paint more flowers. And look at this. I took this today. The photo has not been retouched, it's not been color corrected or anything. It's in my garden. It's a magnolia. I don't know if it's this word in English as well. It's a beautiful tree. It's beautiful flowers. I love these. I want to paint more nature. I want to paint more nature. I want to paint more leaves. The only problem is I hate green. I hate green. I don't know. Like, I have some green here in my background. It's looking good. All right, so I don't mind, but I hate when green is too dominant in a painting, and I hate very dark muted green like this one. So in this case, there is actually no green. It's just the flowers. It's blooming season. And look at that. It's like a cloud of fluffy marshmallows. It's gorgeous. So I took multiple photos. This is in my garden, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so lucky to have this wonderful beauty, but there's so much beauty in nature. Yeah, I want to paint more nature, and I want to come back to why I'm interested in Mucha in a moment. No, I looked it up. You're right. It's Mucha. Whatever. We'll probably have this debate all night long. So I want to paint more flowers, and these are just gorgeous. Yeah. See, the green is very limited, so I really like this. I don't know if I'm gonna have fun painting as much pink. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. It's just, it was blooming like that, and I had to take photos before it was too late. So, as I said, I want to paint more flowers, but I don't want it to be like that. See, this is the kind of green that I don't really like. I don't like this green. Don't find that it works. I don't want this type of green either, even though I love Bouguereau. This is a painting by Bouguereau. It's the daughter of the fisherman. But look at this green, it's black. And I know I went through my black period in a way. But now I want to get out of it. I need more light piercing through. Or I like this painting as well, but see how the green is very muted. And I thought about it, and I thought about Mucha, how he was using tons of flowers that are not actually green. If you look at this, it's almost like there's leaves and flowers everywhere, but the green is never it's never disturbing to me, and it's very geometric. So I want to take inspiration from that, and obviously Mucha is more known for his wonderful, very graceful models, absolutely breathtakingly beautiful and simplified with such care. And we'll see why, and we'll see the explanation of this technique, this very linear technique. You'll see that it's not out of nothing. But see, well, I went back into Mucha for this, these kind of patterns. I love these patterns, and I want to see what I can learn from that. This kind of geometry, no leaves in this case, so we'll see. Look at that. Yeah, I like this. This is what really I find interesting at the moment, like how to make foliage and flowers completely artificial. What can I learn from that? How can I go from from this to, let's say, this, right? Bringing pattern into nature that doesn't have pattern. Very interesting is also to know that he's well known for his posters and like kind of advertising materials, but he also had lots of actual paintings, which look really great. This is the Slav Epic, which he considered himself to be his most important work. So let's go back to the main man. So I had questions on Discord, and I can connect this what we're going to do today with what we had on Discord. And so Cody actually asked, so how to create form with few very basic lines. So we're going to talk about that. Very basic with Mucha, very simplified, very pure. We're going to see how you can purify, well, I'm going to try to learn from that, how you can purify the lines, make them more geometric, how to utilize composition in human force to depict a mood, definitely something Mucha did wonderfully well, and how to show emotion through basic line work. So line work is really going to be our main point of focus today, how to bring patterns and lines, and most importantly, how to put beauty first in everything. So interestingly enough, Mucha grew up in was then the Austrian Empire, now Czechoslovakia, then the Czech Republic, but it wasn't the Czech Republic back then. So when he went in Prague to when he submitted his application to join the art school in the National Art School in Prague, he was rejected, actually. Funnily enough, apparently not good enough, or maybe he didn't have the I don't know why, but apparently that's what Wikipedia said. He was rejected, and then it's only after he moved to Paris that he actually found his style. And so he didn't jump directly into fine arts per se, because at the time that's what fine arts was about. Like at the time of Mucha was basically the time of the Impressionists and everything that came after. So you had to really make your own path, or be a part of this movement, or make your own path. And definitely Mucha made his own path, completely revolutionizing both art and advertising. Like, advertising was kind of somehow fresh, with like, it was a new topic at the time. Like right now we're so bored about ads all over the place. I'm sure you had an ad clicking on this stream. And probably the image quality, the models was very beautiful. The ad is a beautiful object. It's been engineered and thought so that it looks as pretty as possible. But now we're so bored. We're so bored of that. Actually, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a question, because I'm interested. Can an ad be a beautiful work of art? Like, that's Can an ad be a beautiful work of art? What do you think? Because in the case of Mucha, what he tried to do is put beauty first, and through whatever means he could. So basically, he didn't jump directly into fine arts. He got more into, decoration, illustration, graphic design, sort of. But nonetheless, he was an artist at the core. The very core of his heart was about making beauty the central ideal of his work. And through posters like that, through advertisement, you could put beauty in the eyes of everyone. Like somebody walking in the streets, seeing this kind of sign, says, hey, this is beautiful. And there you go. And kind of one of the main forms of art at the time was this. But how do you, like, that's beautiful. Impressionism is great. I like Impressionism. Or you have this. Well, let's take these two. How do you make, with the printing methods of the early 20th century, late 19th century, how do you print that and make an ad with that, with this image, when you don't have the modern printing methods? That's a dilemma. And why does this art looks like that with lines? Why are there so many lines like that? Well, because it was much easier to print back then with all the color work and all, whereas this at the time couldn't translate into a poster, but this could. And that's why he really went into this type of art form, always putting beauty first, but trying to find a way to make this beauty present in front of the eyes of a lot more people than probably a lot more people in the time that this was in the streets, when this was in actual life in the streets, not as in a work of art of itself. Many more people have probably seen this image than this one, because to see this one you have to go to a show, an impressionist show, or a museum if it's a museum later. To see this one you have to go to the salon, but you can see this one in the streets, and you can see this one. I don't know what this is. Tobacco. This is a tobacco ad. All right, good. So yeah, so all this line work is not like he had to work in this manner at the time to make this good, but also it also worked really well. Like, for example, this painting, you couldn't make a poster out of it easily. So yeah, that's the frontier between illustration and fine arts. But it really worked, and even when he had, more flexibility and could use paint, this style would still work really, really well. And yeah, amazing compositions with, actually, it's funny how there's a lot of details, and yet it's very, very pure. For example, you have lots of details in the flowers here. You can almost count the petals and all. But for example, the hair is very simplified, kind of mimicking the vines here. There is a harmony in the floral composition that I'm really interested in. Like, look at this, kind of almost purified. It's almost like calligraphy, like Japanese calligraphy, like Japanese stamps, which was a big influence in Europe at the time, but I don't know how much it influenced Mucha in this case. So this one also very good. See how all the flowers are packed together to kind of form some sort of a pattern. But you still have lots of details to look at. But it's almost like it would be, and I'm sure it's been done. I'm sure you can find on Amazon or anywhere else. I'm sure you can find coloring books of Mucha. Definitely for adults or young teenagers, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that there are a ton of adult coloring books where you can you have this, it's empty, and you just have to color it. Which is, I mean, I have nothing against it, right? It's cool. This one I really like. So, yeah. So one of the questions was, how do you, what was the question again? How to utilize composition, utilize line work to create a mood, is use patterns and use geometry. I'm going to switch to a sort of a more geometric. So this one, yeah, this one's definitely geometric with the circle, but this one. In this case, the geometry is in your face, right? It doesn't have to be this, you know, this prominent. In the case of Mucha, it's really what makes it strong. Is it feels almost like calligraphy. It feels like, I don't know what it feels like, but it's very moving. I don't know how to describe this, but you can still use the same type of composition idea, like putting a circle in the context of a painting that's not as linear and clear cut with a clear outline. There's always an outline in Mucha's work. Most of these shapes are outlined. If you've read Leonardo da Vinci's book on painting, he's definitely saying that painters should not be doing this. But tough luck, because Mucha was not only a painter, he was also an illustrator. He was also a designer in a way, creating patterns, inventing new patterns, inventing compositions. And yeah, using geometry and using free lines. Basically, you have, look at this. There is a very good example of how you have the, you know, the rigidness of the geometry. So the circle here, once like goes in follows the geometric shape, the geometry of the shape, and you also have some free lines that go wherever they want to go. There's always this tension in Mucha's compositions, in his patterns, very unique, between geometrical shapes that are very static and like bring this sense of, you know, stability, and they sort of ground the subject, put it in the frame, like, you know, there's always this kind of a little frame within the picture, so you don't need to frame it. Actually, it's an amazing idea. You don't need to frame this because it's already kind of creating its own frame, but the frame is a part of the subject at the same time. So, like, talk about focusing the attention of the viewer. It's genius, absolutely genius. And yeah, so you have the you know, the basic, the big shapes. So the circle, the straight lines, diagonals, not that often. And you also have the shapes that do whatever they want. Like this. This weird kind of a pattern that he came up with, creating what's now defined as Art Nouveau. So now it's a thing, but he came up with it mostly. I don't know if he was the only one. I'm not really sure. But he's one of the main precursors or main artists from this style. Art Nouveau. It's also a lot of Art Nouveau is in architecture from this era, early 20th century, and you see these patterns of shapes that don't necessarily follow much of geometry, but still are very geometrical. So super interesting. You have repeating shapes. You can use, you know, not stems, not necessarily stems, but you can, you know, reproduce the shapes, the patterns with there are many tools that you can use to not have to paint the flowers individually and just sort of make them I don't know how you do that necessarily. I would, if it was me, I would paint them all one by one, but I'm not sure this is what he did because they all look exactly the same almost. So he had a trick for the patterns, I guess. One super interesting thing that you can actually see in this in Google in this Google Arts and Culture project here. Actually, there's a bit of nudity. Okay. No, okay, not too much nudity. Look at this. So how he was using his models, and you see the the difference from the model to the actual work of art. Oh, I can't zoom in? Alright, so I can't zoom apparently. Alright, Google doesn't want to let me zoom in, but whatever. So you see he was using a lot of photography. He was taking photos of his models and he was using the photos to work from. And this way he could, you know, add all the extra elements that he wanted to do and purify the shapes. You're never going to have a model that's exactly how you want it for the subject, because the shoulder is going to be slightly too high and you would like to have a shoulder that's slightly lower. So what can you do? Do you have to copy the photo like you're a copying machine, or will you stylize? Will you take the best out of what nature offers you and make it your own? Or are you going to blindly copy? I say blindly, it's kind of a paradox, but if you just copy what you see, sometimes it's not right. Sometimes what you see is not what you want. And it's very rare that what you see is exactly what you want. So for example, if I go back to my flowers, I have these, but Mucha would probably see things very differently. He would probably just, I don't know, isolate, well, let's say isolate this one, for example. Try to get the patterns, count exactly how many petals there are, learn about the details of how it attaches, and then multiply this, create a very cool and interesting pattern out of that, and make a beautiful work of art out of this. I'm not necessarily into creating patterns like Mucha, but I'm just thinking about that when it comes to flowers. So super interesting. You know, taking the best out of nature and sort of taking the essence of what makes a flower beautiful, taking the essence of what makes a woman beautiful, and using that as your subject. All right, so now you have more complex compositions with some nice codes that go back to kind of iconography, Orthodox, Christian Orthodox iconography in a way, with, you know, the characters of different sizes, no perspective, like breaking perspective and organizing characters based on their importance in their eye-catching potential, basically. Here you have a clear circle shape again, a circle that's not really visible in this case, just the outline here is visible, and all this back of the circle with this very interesting dress pattern closes the circle, and then you have some lines that move more freely, and then you have the laces here that really break the symmetry in a way. The flag also breaks the symmetry. So you have very nice, very cool patterns here that we don't think that much of these anymore, because we have so much ads, like smartly made ads and smartly done images all over the place. but it was so new at the time. I'm gonna go back to his actual paintings, then another very interesting look at his models. So that's interesting how he makes them pose. And it shows you how much work there is in making art. How much transformation it takes to go from a model to the actual work. What would be the... I'm trying to see if we can find the finished... Probably, I don't know what the finished work would be. So this is the Slav Epic. I want to finish on this one. This one is also it's a study. Look at that. So we can see the behind the various steps of his work, because it's a study apparently. But talking about bringing emotion with lines. Bringing emotion with lines. That's a very strong artwork. Russia must recover. Study for Russia restituenda. Same idea, bringing patterns and breaking the patterns in very original ways. Always putting the most, like there is one thing, there's always a circle here, a top circle, mostly. This is very common in Mucha's work to have this circle here on top. And you place the most important part of the subject in the middle of this circle. Egon Schiele, yeah, definitely. One day maybe. Sure. The thing is, I'm trying to study and trying to bring you with me on my own research that I do for my art. All right. So the Slav Epic, I don't know if it's in order or anything, but let's start with this one. It's not the Slav Epic. So, just to show you that he was definitely good at traditional painting, but if he only had this, he probably would not be as important as he was. But he was definitely a genius painter also, definitely. Like, look at this. This is perfect. The touch of blue here. It's very subtle. These details are wonderful. The use of green. The subtle way this white dress garments is handled. It actually looks white, but it's actually full of green, yellow, pink, blue. This is a painter. He's not known mostly as a painter. He's known mostly for his posters, but wow, he was a breathtaking painter. Another one, this one. Introduction of the Slavonic liturgy. So breaking codes, you can see some codes of the posters with characters kind of freely placed. They are part of the liturgy, liturgy. So they are part of the kind of the story that the actual characters here are talking about. So it's telling a story within a story. What I really like is also the way he kind of simplifies patterns of color here. This is a glorious effect. Look at this fuzzy blue ghostly effect. Isn't that cool? That's so amazing. I never knew this. I thought it was all blue. But it's actually so smart. It's kind of a halo aura, ghostly kind of effect. I love this. This is glorious. So he was super sharp with his brush. But you have the same idea of patternizing brushstrokes, but it's still vibrant and it's still super cool. I never zoomed in so much. But see what I was talking about? Patterns. You can study this. Look at this. This would be a perfect painting study. Look at this. Take a snapshot of this, and this would make a wonderful painting study. Just paint that. The eye, the emotion, the mood. We were talking about that exactly. Cody was asking about that. About bringing the lines. Bringing the... making shadow shapes sharp. And it doesn't matter really what's inside the shadows. What's happening here doesn't really matter, but you can unify it. What matters is really the frontier that separates the shadows from the light, and you can create all sorts of ghostly effects. So much to learn from this. Google Arts and Culture is just such a great site. It's so simplified. It works so well. Let me see. Wow. I'm just amazed. Just amazed at the talent with a brush. If you thought that he was all about making posters, he's not. And look at that. Look at how bright and colorful the shadows are. That's genius. Look at this robe. Look at the background characters. Oh my god, this is an absolutely amazing painting. And the further away you go, the less details you have. Look at that. That's a lesson on simplifying. And still they all have this kind of halo. This character here is emphasized pretty... It looks pretty artificial, but it's still like... This is a guy who knows how to capture attention. I'm talking about Mucha, the painter. But the guy is also grabbing everybody's attention in the crowd. But this is an artist who knows what it means to capture everybody's attention. And all his experience creating posters made him understand that this character here, because he's one of the main, needs to be clearly separated from the rest. It's amazing. So just creating a slight halo, like he's kind of glowing. I don't know exactly what the story is, some type of story about Slav history, about Czech history, I don't know. Look at this. Oh, you can study this one as well. Count how many brushstrokes you need to create this. and still patterns. This is breathtaking. Look at this dude. No, study this one, I'm sorry. Oh my god. Look at that. It feels so damn simple. Like it was done in just a couple strokes. Done. Alright, next. Oh, this old grumpy dude here. Even more easy because it's profile. Textures. Wow. All right. I can stay on this painting for a while, so let's move on. So pattern, flower patterns might be interesting for me for later, but that's not what I'm gonna focus on today. I want more of this Slav Epic. See, I'm not as much of a fan of this one. Kind of find it a bit tacky, not as well made as the other ones. Even though there's more form here, but I think, I don't know, something wrong with the shoulders, maybe the face, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this one. This one I really like, but I'm looking for the Slav Epic. All right, let's go back because can't find it. We'll study one more. This one is definitely huge. So this one is called Celebration as Svantovit in Rugen. Don't know what this is, but this one is also crazy. Like looking at it up close. Look at this dude. How to simplify the shapes, still make them insanely realistic. Look at the dogs or the wolves. I don't know. The battle of the... What is that? Wow, this dude is pissed. I don't know what's going on in the story, but man, somebody's angry. Moods. Really, like talking about expressions, moods, emotions. Just go ahead and just zoom in on any of these dudes and study as many as you want. And you'll have a perfect painting exercise for you. Now this crowd of people is looking amazing. I love how they all kind of merge in the chromatic harmony. Like there's an atmosphere, a kind of blue cyan atmosphere, and everybody's in it. Really like this. And there is this kind of gaze. Still this kind of, this mist almost separating the characters. Wow. Crazy. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Wow. This girl, look at that. Count the brushworks. Oh man. I don't think I went so up close and personal with the painting. I knew about these paintings, but I never had the opportunity to, you know, really get into the brushstrokes, and you get really sucked in. It's wow. So that's his end of his career. This entire saga of paintings, huge paintings, several compositions. Trying to find if there are other ones. Okay, the Slav Epic, cycle 14, and you have like big paintings like that form a sort of a unity. I don't know exactly what they're talking about, but visually they're extremely striking, and they form some type of oh, I'm gonna probably get flagged by YouTube for just that. Sorry. They form some type of unity together. So that's his last late career project, and he was in his mind, it was the most important part of his art. So a painter mostly. All right, so for what matters to us today together, my friends, I'm gonna try to not put my head in the frame again, and we're gonna do this little drawing study here. So this is a study for let me bring it. Actually, I have it here. I can give you the big version. So just hold on for a moment. Okay, so it's here, and I have both the study, which is this one. So I'm gonna study this one, and the final poster is this one. It's a sort of perfume. it was an ad for a perfume thrower, like a perfume jet. I don't know, don't ask me, it doesn't exist anymore. We have like little spray things, but at the time you wanted to just get splashed with perfume because it was a thing in 1896 apparently. So that's what we're gonna do. But and since I'm not gonna try to replicate his like making a poster is not like making a painting. So I'm not gonna take my paint and try to replicate a poster. That's not the same thing. What I can do though is I can use the drawing study, and I can do that. So that's what we're gonna do, because we're interested in patterns. We're interested in drawing lines, simplifying, bringing focus. So that's what we're gonna do. And you have actually the line of the master himself here. Oh man, I don't think I have a marker that would have this sort of line. I really suck at markers. I don't have any markers. And my Indian ink, do I still have some? It's super old. Well, I guess it doesn't turn that though, so I can use some Indian ink for that. Will I have something sufficient to create the line? See, like with this, we can really study the emphasis on line work. Free lines and geometric lines. Free lines doing whatever they want, and geometric patterns. Patterns and free line. You know? That's super cool. I love this. So yeah, I kind of need my tools. I'm gonna need some geometric tools here to start this. Draw a circle. Sure. Let's draw a circle. Where is it? Here it is. Oh. So let's draw a circle. Yeah, so let's start with patterns. So sorry for this long introduction. I'm gonna have more time to talk with you. With Calum, it's possible to draw such lines. Calum? What is Calum? Alright, so I'm gonna just very basically start with the framing. I'm gonna blindly copy in this case. Oh, the commands. Yeah, sorry. I forgot about the commands. My bad. My bad. Okay, yeah, commands should work now. Sorry for that. Totally forgot. But yeah, thanks and big shout out to Cody for suggesting.
Warning, emoji wall starts in 10,
oh my God.
9, 8,
I was saying
7,
shout outs to Cody
6,
for the idea
5,
of doing
4,
close-ups
3,
on artists
2,
separately, but
1,
let's go for emoji wall
emoji
then.
wall unlocked.
Ready, get ready.
This is chaos. Seriously,
Oh my
we
God,
need to break
it's already
YouTube
started.
with emojis. We have 1 minute.
I'm there.
Let's go chat. We can
Emoji
do
wall
it.
is in the way.
Let's go chat.
Get emoji
Quick.
walled.
Spam emojis. We need to fill
Quick,
the screen.
quick.
No time to waste.
Get
I'm
emoji
serious. We have to spam emojis in chat now
walled.
before
Let's
the timer
go.
runs out.
Oh my
Hurry
God,
up.
my YouTube is
Quick.
glitching already.
Let's go chat.
My computer's probably never going
We
to
have
recover.
to spam emojis in chat now before the timer runs out. No time to waste. I'm serious. Hurry up. Quick. Let's go chat. Let's
Quick,
go
quick,
chat.
quick.
Let's go chat. Let's go chat.
Whoa!
Hurry up. It ends in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop.
Good.
Emoji cooldown.
Ah, it's a well-deserved emoji cooldown. Let me check. Oh my God, my computer was starting to heat up from this hype. This emoji hype. Oh God. All right, so where would be the I'm trying to place. All right, so I'm drawing this circle. I'm gonna start with the kind of a frame. I'm not sure that
Screenshot taken in the Discord.
I'm not sure that this is what he used to do. I'm not sure that this is how he started, but that's how we'll do. Sometimes I know I very often I use circles in my composition. Most of the time what I prefer to do is I sort of let the figure happen. So I would draw the figure first and then sort of place a circle after the main figure is up, so kind of counterbalancing the movement of the main subject. But you know, in this case it doesn't have to be so. Alright, so here I'm gonna measure a bit because feels so geometric. I'm gonna measure from my model, try to get things right. Alright. Something's messed up here. Okay. Sorry, I'm messed up with my geometry. It's been a while since I've done such a geometric work. So when I do, me personally, when I do use geometrical elements in my compositions, is mostly freehand all the time. So well, I'm gonna focus on the central subject, otherwise it's going to just take a while. And I'm gonna try to readjust because it's still a bit bright. I thought I had this, but let me just make sure you see something. Yeah, as I move on, you'll see more. But yeah. Okay. I'm gonna really freehand it because I don't have time to measure everything. I don't know how he balanced measuring and freehanding. Nearly 300 poll votes, new record. How can that be only 106 watching? Yeah, no, some people come and go. They come, they vote, and they leave. Alright, so I'm gonna simplify. I'm not gonna, you know, the trap here, which is to go too much into the tiny details here. What you want is to get the shape very very simple at first. Because if you start doing, you know, all the curls, all the tiny hair details, you would soon get lost. Okay, so here. Can I draw a small heart? Sure. Small heart. There you go. All right. Okay. So the shoulders, I really like this shoulder placement. The hand. What made me smile today? My son, as always. So, I don't know how you call that in English, you know, this, I'm gonna show it to you, because I have such a funny story about my son. He's so cute. You know this gluing paste? I don't know how you call that in English. Gluing paste that you stick your, you know, posters with. You know, this kind of thing, how is it called? So in French there is a famous brand called Patafix, and my son invented a new superhero which is Patafix Man, and he knows how to, you know, glue tack. So Blue Tack Man, he invented like Blue Tack Man. So he invented a superhero that can throw this, and he can also, like, it's basically like Spider-Man, but it's more sticky. And he also runs faster than the Flash, and he also can shape it into a pistol and defeat all the villains. He's really into superheroes at the moment. I don't know why, but he's so cute. So, and he, oh, I was almost going to use it to erase. Does it work actually? No. Oh yes, it works. So fun thing, blue tack or white tack here in this case actually erases. I can't draw blue tack, man. It's copyrighted. My son had the copyright already. I'll try to take a photo of blue tack man and post it in the Discord. It was hilarious. He's very, very creative. He's always inventing himself some stories. Always some crazy stories. He's so funny. Oh, he's a really good kid. He was not always easy, but now he's like, he's just such an amazing kid. Wow. Need 100 likes to release Jeff. Oh my god. This hand, I'm gonna try to simplify the hand as well. I never thought that I would be actually studying an ad. But in this case, it is. If you think about it, it is. And overwhelmingly, the poll revealed that yes, you do think that an ad can be a work of art of its own, and yeah, the work itself can be artistic. It's just the problem of the ads today is just there's too many of them. Hey Jeff! Jeff's making a comeback. It's spring. Yeah, the only problem is not the art object itself. It's just how they're pushed all over the place. So you become desensitized to the beautiful pictures that you have in the ads. Like most of the time, yes, an ad is almost always a very well done image, very artistic image. It's just that because we see so many of them, we become kind of bored of them. But yeah. Okay. I love these very simple lines, creating a perfectly beautiful face. Crazy. Pancakes, huh? Oh. Enjoy your pancakes. You're kind of making me hungry, but... So yeah, so simple, such simple lines.
Command, Studio Cam for 10 seconds.
Hello.
Back to normal.
Merci the beautiful voice. How are we all in the modern still life challenge? We have to extend the challenge? Uh-huh. How come? Okay. Can be done. You have a... I give you the full power to go in the channel, Cody, and make the announcement if you want. Or I will do that later, no problem. So I'm not... I'm gonna simplify for now the face because I'm not sure. I don't want to dive too much into the tiny subtleties of the face because it's such a small amount of lines, but they have to be very licked with a very almost graphic perfection. They're both I don't know how to explain how these lines work. They're both very graphic and very realistic at the same time. So not as simple as they... Well, they don't look simple, to be fair, but... So I don't want to make my life more difficult. Yeah, you know, you can make it 2 weeks. Wow, good that you find the stream then. Yeah, he's a
Command,
huge inspiration.
zooming in for 10 seconds.
Actually, the
Zooming
zoom...
out.
Oh. I'm gonna go back to the zoom a bit and just replace... Centralize it more. Okay. Alright. It's just so subtle. I don't know. I hope you can see the lines, because I'm still trying to be very gentle, which is what I think Mucha did. You have patterns. Thank you, Kaylin. You can start by liking the stream.
Command, zooming in for 10 seconds.
I'm not gonna dive in the patterns here. I'm just going to make a
Zooming out.
10 pattern. Make it feel like there is a pattern. Alright, so the size of this hand. Very important because that's where the product is placed.
Command,
So,
studio cam for 10 seconds.
hello. Can't get enough of me.
Screenshot
Gary?
taken in the Discord. Back to normal.
Yeah. And when you think about how many lines there are actually in the face, creating this very gracious, very elegant portrait, elegant face.
Command, switching to palette for 10 seconds.
Not much to see on the palette though. It's just my drawing gear.
Back to easel.
Time-eating monster. Is this an actual subject or is it just an expression to say that it's just taking a lot of your time? Or is it actually what you're painting? Because that would also be cool. You know, like Uranus, the Greek, not god, the Greek Titan, father of Zeus, that was sort of a symbol of time passing. Cronus. No, but that's Uranus. Devouring his child. There's a Goya. No, Uranus. Saturn. It's Saturn in Latin. Hola. ¿Cómo está? Okay, Saturn in Cronus. Yeah, I'm confusing with Uranus. What I had in mind is Saturn, but the original story is with Cronus. So yeah, yeah, sure, Cronus, of course. Sometimes when I draw and talk at the same time, can't think. For some reason, it's easier to paint and talk. Drawing is more tricky. I don't know. Drawing takes more of a mental toll on my brain. Don't know how to explain. What do you think? How does it feel to you guys? Do you feel the same? Well, actually, it's very, very... to be fair, it's very unnatural to talk and draw at the same time. It's really not something... It's not necessarily something that I recommend. But, hey, that's what I do. Sometimes. Not all the time. Yeah, I have to say, if I had to only be live and talk while I'm drawing and painting, I wouldn't accomplish much, probably. I think they were before the Greek gods, so kind of before the gods existed in the Greek mythology, there were the Titans. So basically they created the earth, the sky and the stuff. And Uranus is the god of, not the god, but the creator of the sky, I guess. I don't know, but don't quote me. Ah, so you changed color at the same time, Felicia. Oh yeah, you bet, Captain Marco Polo. Definitely. Yeah, listening to other talk is like listening to kind of a music, but yeah, talking is not something that I recommend. If you struggle, like, give your brain as much free, like computing power as possible. And don't try to talk. Especially don't try to talk in a language that's not your mother language, like me trying to speak English. I'm not sure that I would do better if I was speaking French. It's not even it's not sure, because I tried speaking French and doing exactly what I'm doing here, and I'm not better with French, actually. I'm doing exactly the same, like hesitating, losing words, losing track. Oh man, what do you want? Thank you, Romano's journal. It's not my design. It's by Mucha. Trying to learn from the master, but it is beautiful. And we're trying to learn as much as we can from this beauty. Master studies are generally a good idea because somebody did the most difficult job for you, which is creating the most beautiful thing possible. Somebody already made all the tough decisions for you. You have nothing left to do except look at how it's made and try to do it as try to just copy it line by line. By doing a master study, it's what you do. Is you don't do all the research. You don't try to come up with the ideas, which is the most difficult part. But you just learn from those ideas that were put in lines for you, basically. Yeah, my pencil is super long. I actually have a video about that if you want to watch, explaining why my pencil is always so long. Hold on, I'm gonna change my headset. I need to buy myself these like muffled headsets, like with a better foam. I can technically change just the ear ring. Try to put a better foam, like more comfortable. Sometimes it's crushing my ears. Not very enjoyable. Alright, back in business. Let's do this. Okay, so this hand placement is crucial. Yeah, I love his style as well. It's funny how it became such a staple of pop culture. Became a thing of its own, like past the, you know, the adverts and all. Like the style itself became super famous and super recognizable. It's a part of pop culture even today. Like I'm pretty sure you can find like an AI app that would take your photo and turn it into a Mucha style photo. Like it's became so much a part of our visual language, basically artistic and visual. Sorry, I'm bumping into my chair. Oh really, in anime? Which one? But yeah, I could totally believe it. It's not hard to understand what can be inspiring in this. Like a style that became so almost evident, it's self-explanatory. You don't have to explain it to anybody. You say, and when you can create a style that becomes so recognizable, it's definitely like you're doing something right. There's just something in this beautiful elegance, these ornaments, flower patterns, stuff like that, that just clicks with our imagination, how we perceive beauty, how we perceive shapes and patterns. Now, we haven't done William Blake yet, but yeah, maybe one day. The thing is, I'm mostly trying to go for artists that I need to study otherwise, that I think could be helpful in my research, my own personal research. William Blake a little bit less so than others. Yeah, Chile, I have to really go and make a pre-selection, but yeah, it's possible. It's just that I need to go beforehand and make pre-selection. Yeah, Chile is, yeah, but it's technically it should be doable. I hate to navigate the algorithm this way, and I hate that I have to do that, especially because I have a painting project coming up, my next painting, and there's a nude figure central, and I definitely want to have it and use it for streams, for videos, share about it. So I'm probably going to have to censor with like a little piece of tape on the nude when I paint it live, and do the you know, the breasts outside of the stream. It's sad that it has to go like that, but I don't blame YouTube for kind of being a bit strict with the algorithm and nudity and all. But if you look at music videos, like rap music videos, for example, that's a form of art where you have tons of it's not technically nudity, but it's definitely almost softcore porn if you think about it. Sometimes like what some of these ladies do. So I don't see why I couldn't be doing just a painting. When this is allowed, even if they say just 18 plus, I don't care. It's just I don't want to have, you know, to have a flag on my channel. It's tricky. It's the same. It's been the same with Instagram as well. It's been a nightmare for some artists who have lots of realistic nude figures. Very beautifully done, like, you know, classic with the classical. Like, apparently it was good enough for artists of the Renaissance, but it's not good enough for us in 2024. And you have to censor like breasts, because apparently basically yeah, I don't know, it's weird. There is this those policies. Again, if you look at what happened on Twitch when they sort of made the policies more tolerant for artistic nudity, like some people, mostly ladies, abused it to kind of create almost like, yeah, let's call it a sort of a porn alternative on Twitch directly, using this policy change. So it's tricky. It's tricky because it's the internet. Yeah. Softcore, probably, yeah. But it's very strange on Twitch, though, with how they sort of trick the system. How to make the pencil so sharp? Well, I have a video on that on my channel, so you can check it out. It's funny how this line work, and we were talking about that, like it was one of the question from Cody, how we can make create, you know, something with simple lines. And it's funny how you have very simple lines already, but it's already very it's already pretty elegant. And just because of this balance that we talked about with geometry, with the sort of the solid structure, the circle, this frame rectangle, and the lines that do whatever they want, the free lines, and this this balance between the two creates something very harmonious. And if you also have a very beautiful model, it almost immediately looks good, even though you don't have necessarily much done. Like, you don't need to have the finished drawing for it to look beautiful already. You can already see the beautiful model, you can already see the beautiful geometry, and it works very quickly. That's really cool. You don't have to dive into all the details. Like the geometry works. And it works on its own. It's enough for it to be pleasing to the eye. It's insane. Insane how efficient it is. Oh yeah, but he was very good at realism though. He was good at decorative style and ornaments and all, but he was mostly good at... I wish you could capture feelings into paint. You can feel grass on your feet in paint. I wish you could capture true emotions and feelings. Yeah, sure, you can't, but that's doesn't mean it's not worth trying. You can't technically, yes, you can't. You can never replicate the same feeling, the same emotion, but you can do your best and put your heart into it. And you're probably not going to capture exactly the type of feeling you're talking about, but you will capture something, and this something is a very unique human interaction that someone out there in the world might actually be looking for. Some unknown experience of something, an unknown experience of it. Maybe the feeling of, you know, touching grass can't be replicated, but the color of grass, how the light hits the grass, and it can bring those other memories of how it feels like to touch it by simple, like one sensory memory can lead to another one, and it can snowball into creating a more complete experience. So you can sort of almost like hypnosis, like one state of mind leads to another one, and you can trigger several emotions. So that's the closest you can get from what you were talking about. But I think it's still worth the try. The eye follows the circle around clockwise and her gestures are in the direction of the fingers, bringing the gaze back to the face and back through the circle. The cycle of the circle is genius. Yeah, this composition is great. And think that it was just for a perfume. Whatever perfume company paid this guy was money well spent. I'm pretty sure they don't exist anymore. But their little perfume pen here will live on through the genius of an artist. I'm pretty sure this perfume Lance Parfum Rodot. Does it still exist? I'm gonna Google it. Perfume thrower Rodot. Rodot. R-O-D-O. I'm Googling it. Alright, so I've got the Mucha painting, of course. I just have the painting, can't find the original object. Does it exist? Oh. It does exist. Well, it's an old one. I'm not even sure it's the real one, but yeah. Hold on. This is what it looked like. A perfume thrower. So what are they saying? It was very liked in Brazil for the carnival and was forbidden in 1961. It's now an illegal product in many countries. Okay. Crazy. Alright, so it does exist, but this tells you how irrelevant the context might be. If the painting is beautiful, like if the art is beautiful, it's enough. You don't need more. Hey, welcome back, Nolan. Not much. Can be a great subject if you want to study negative shapes as well. The artist of the original is Mucha. Alphonse Mucha. Czech artist. One of the main representative, not a representative, but one of the main examples of Art Nouveau. I don't know how it's called in English. Is it also Art Nouveau? Or is it new art? Because it really means new art. Yeah, I totally agree, Captain Marco Polo. Art Nouveau. I'm pretty sure you say it. I love it when French words are pronounced with a British accent. Art Nouveau. Makes me laugh already. Like, to truly capture the feeling of the grass, you need to emulate a heightened color, a waviness of the grass, perhaps texture. Have you checked out the Dürer? To me, when you talk about grass, you really have to look at this one. Because this is the craziest subject by Dürer. It's a watercolor by Dürer. It's insanely precise, but I like it very much. It's one of my favorites. The type of stuff that I would most likely never do myself. I would never have the idea to paint something like that. But it's incredible. It's breathtaking. I can find the feeling of grass through through looking at this, and like all the rest comes back. Like just looking at it and then letting my mind, travel through. It brings back all these other emotions. Yeah, but now you're being complicated though. Come on, Cody. You're being too much of you're being too complicated here. I was just giving you an example, but yeah. So I guess your feeling is up to you to paint, right? Like what you can't express with words might be exactly what you need to paint, right? Some of the best art is the stuff that doesn't idealize the physical world. Yeah, and I have another one by Dürer. Dürer is definitely a wonderful artist, very much, I think, underappreciated nowadays. Going back to what Violet was saying, this is a portrait of Dürer's mother talking about not idealizing physical world and treating things with their own imperfections. And there you have an old lady, but I really love this painting of this old woman. You see the love of Dürer for his mother. It's an incredible little drawing, but it's definitely I find this is another one of my favorites. Definitely, I really like this one. There's just something touching about this. Like, you have the very perfectly licked style of Mucha, but you also have the total opposite with Dürer here. It's kind of an interesting parallel. Like, sometimes beauty is in idealizing, and sometimes beauty is in accepting the world with its imperfections. And ultimately it's not just about, it's not about whether you're idealized or not. It's about how much of your own heart you put into the piece. Ultimately, the secret is just the love. It's not the secret is not in the subject, it's always in the artist. How much love do you have for your subject? And it will show. It will show. And ultimately, it will not matter whether you're idealized or not. How do you even paint the smoothness of grass? Or the... makes me think about... but I've totally lost the name. Yeah, Miyazaki. Take Miyazaki in... Do you know the movie Spirited Away? Yeah, you have the grass, you know, moving with the wind, and they created that with very simple, you know, drawings and animated. It's an animation, of course. It's a moving image, but and in Miyazaki, and it creates this wonderful impression of grass. It also comes to mind when thinking about grass right now. So if anybody in chat sees what I'm talking about in Spirited Away, how he created this grass when she enters the place. So yeah, maybe there's limitations to painting. You have to play with the limitations of your medium. It's nothing new. And if you can't stand it, you like... If you're held back by the limitations of your medium, nothing is stopping you from experimenting with something else. So yeah, maybe it's time to put your talents to another medium if you think that painting is too limiting. And that's what's cool with creativity. It's like nothing's ever stopping you from expanding the field of possibilities. So I haven't seen them all the Studio Ghibli movies. I would still think Princess Mononoke is my favorite, I don't know what you're referring to, Captain Marco Polo, but sounds interesting. Tangled? I never seen it. So many stuff to check out, so little time. Wow, the detail, look at that. It's not as simple. It's a little shape like that. It's not a simple, you know, square rectangle shape here. There is a little indentation. There's a little dent here. So interesting, this graphical composition. Wheat fields with puppies. Let me check this one. Wheat field with puppies. Puppies would be great. By Luis Vanta. I want a wheat field with puppies. Puppies. Okay, this is it. Yeah, but that's not grass though. But yeah, it's a cool painting. I'm not sure if it will satisfy our man Cody. But definitely feels like wheat. Just imagine it's green. Yeah. Well, wheat's green before you harvest. Like a few months before you harvest it. Well, I take back what I said about the puppies and the puppies. I have to take it back though. You know what? Because as an artist, as an oil painter, you probably know that we use something called poppy oil. But I don't want to think about how you make puppy oil. Would be atrocious. So yeah. Yeah. I'm taking back my comment about by having puppies in the place of puppies. In reality, it would be horrible. Oh, yeah, exactly. Cruella. It's exactly her. She would do that. She would surely do that. I've never seen this movie, Cujo. The kind of movie that you like, Cujo is the kind of movie that you hear about, but I never saw, never watched. And I don't even know what it's about. It's like a dog, rabbit dog. A palette has 1 L and 2 T. This is pretty brutal. So what, like the dog is rabid? You can spoil it, no problem. Like generally I don't mind being spoiled because I rarely have time to watch anything anyway, so the best you can do is save me some time. I'll know that I don't necessarily have to. I'm not necessarily going to have to watch. So yeah, usually I know that some people are really against spoilers, but yeah, not so much, not such a problem for me. And if the movie is super interesting, I don't mind that I know the end. Like for Titanic, I know that the boat sinks, so what matters is the story leading up to the end, and still the story should still be worth it. You shouldn't have to wait for the end to have a surprise. Never really understood that. Like in Greek tragedy, there's basically a role that just tells you how the story is going to end before it even starts. Because what matters is that it's the destiny and how it unfolds. They basically spoil the story for you before it even starts. In Greek tragedy. Hey, good luck for your commission, JM. In 1 hour? You start in 1 hour or you finish in 1 hour? Hey, no problem. Okay, you start in 1 hour. Alright, good luck. Oh, I'm probably not going to be still live in 1 hour, but oh, you know, you have my website, stuff like that, you know where to join. You can join the Discord as well. So the Discord is full of people of all levels, so always willing to help. Will I use brushes or knives? Palette knives? For what? Oh, for JM. The Discord. Discord should be linked below. You have a link, just click the link. Somebody will probably post it in the chat soon. So this drawing we started 2 hours ago. No, 1 hour and a half, I guess. And how long have you been drawing for? For ever since I was young. Do I wash my brushes? Yes, of course. Soap and water. Not all the time. Hello, Liku. Definitely helped. It helped me by, well, I always think about that like going to the gym for playing basketball, working out for playing basketball. Is it going to help you become better at the game? No, but it's going to going to help you become more athletic. Yes, more muscular, more stronger overall. Building strength, building muscles, stuff like that. It's important. Even though it's not all. So the Barg course is not going to help you get better at art, but it's going to get better at visual accuracy. It's going to basically sharpen your eyes. And that's valuable because that's a lot of brain power that you're going to save later on. So you do the exercises and they are very mechanical. They are very strict, very rigid, kind of boring in a way. And then you move on to art with this new ability that the Bark course helps you develop. So basically it helps you put a lot of the tasks that art requires. It will allow you to put that in automatic mode. So you'll have a sort of a cruise mode within your brain that will just help you how to say it? It will help you not think about all the little things that you need to do to work from a model. So you can focus later on what makes the art artistic. So basically you know how to copy the model, no problem, thanks to the Barg. And then all the artistic side is easier because making the subject look like a model is becoming easy. So the rest is also easier. It kind of takes the burden away from you. Salut Kuroebi, je suis tombé sur ce live par hasard. J'ai fait une présentation sur ton exposé pour mon année de prépa. Tu es une inspiration pour mon concept. Oh, bah merci, c'est sympa. Merci de passer sur le live, c'est cool. No, I sometimes I go in the Discord myself in the critique. But mostly I don't have time to do all the critique, which is why on Discord it's called community critique. And I'm as active as I can on the Discord, but like most of the time the Discord is very, very active. But it's not a one-on-one kind of exchange, if you know what I mean. It's not a sort of a tutoring. In this case, that's not what I'm doing in Discord. It's very much a community space. But you can join, it's still free though, so join the Discord and see what happens. Then take my course if you want. But no, I don't do critique because I would just have too much to critique, and like critiquing other students take a huge toll on me because I'm not like yeah. Now, I know I could offer some type of tutoring with critique and all, but yeah, it would take a whole lot of time, bring a lot of pressure on me. Every day I would have to critique, and yeah, for the moment I don't necessarily need to do it, so if I can avoid it, I'd rather. Oh, you teach me, Ariel. Okay, since I don't have a marker and since I don't have my Indian ink here with me, I'm just going to make a fat line on the silhouette. Nah, but like, teach me. Now you teach me how to teach you. You teach me. Teach me something. Well, thank you, Ariel. Well, a month is pretty fresh, so, well, I think you can teach yourself a lot. And yes, I do have content already on my channel. I talk a lot about proportions, composition, stuff like that regularly. My favorite medium is oil paint. Man, I want to try sculpting at some point, but I don't know. I have this itch. I have this itch to try sculpting. I know I have already tried and all. It's just like, I can't just try like that. There's a whole setup, especially because I need to separate my painting from my sculpting if I start doing this, because of all the dust, because of all the, you know, the mess in general. My stopping me is my setup, because I have all my paintings here, and if I start bringing tons of dust, it's not going to be great if the two are at the same spot. My studio is fairly big, but sculpture takes a whole lot of space compared to paintings. Like, you can stack paintings on top of each other. Yeah, well, what I'm talking sculpting, but I mean 3D. And obviously when you do sculpting, you also do modeling. It's basically like, modeling is kind of very often it's phase one, and then you work from the actual. When you sculpt, you generally start with a model, with a clay model, then a plaster model sometimes. But like, it takes time and space, and I would have the space. Like, the space would be great if it was dedicated to one thing. Right now it's dedicated to painting, and the problem is, like, if I start putting wooden dust, marble dust, plaster dust, there's going to be a problem. Alright, thanks. I'll check it out. Hey, me too, Raja. You'll get back to it if you want. It never really goes away, trust me. And when it comes back, it's even better. Because when you have a hiatus, like that and come back to painting later on, you come back with new experiences, and they're usually game changers. Yes, okay, Ariel, you do that. Good luck. I'm pretty sure you still be like, what matters is not that you become good, is that you become a little bit better every day. Improving slow but steady wins the race, right? So don't put too much pressure on you. Sculpting is kind of the base of painting. It's the base of, well, 3D representation, if you want. But I don't know how skills transferred. I don't know how sculpting transfers to painting and drawing. I'm pretty sure it does transfer well. Look at examples of Michelangelo, but I don't know. Maybe he was a universal genius of sorts. Drawing definitely transfers well. Drawing is the base of all visual arts, so that's not really hard. But the transfer from painting to sculpting, I don't know. Ah non, j'ai pas de plan encore, sinon. Oh, that's cool, Lewis. Show went well, yeah. Thanks. Okay, now I'm gonna bring some very subtle shadows here. I'm not gonna go into all the tiny details. I think I got the gist of the drawing. Okay, cool. Trying to bring it back to not hit the camera with my face. if possible. Okay. My pleasure, Ellie. Leo. Yes, it is ridiculously long.
Command, zooming in for 10 seconds.
I'm just going to do some
zooming
bare
out.
minimum shading. Thank you, Ellie, and vive la France! Oh, yeah, how does the eraser? You have to have several of them. Look at how I have a little stack of them, and I constantly switch them so that they don't get sticky. And when they're too old, you have to eventually throw them out. Thank you, Marcy. It's a copy though, so amazing artist, Mucha. Huge inspiration. All right, see you, JM. Yes, it is a very pretty drawing. How does it sound? How does it feel so simple with a genius artist like Mucha? How does it feel so? It's almost like the art feels self-explanatory. I don't know how to describe it. And man, it's always so pretty and easy. Like the good art feels easy when you just, of course, when you look at it, it feels like it's been easily done. That's the sign of good art. Even though it probably was not easily done, but it makes you feel like it could not have been otherwise. Right? I don't know how to express this idea. Sometimes, like, copying all these genius artists, that's how I feel. I'm like, of course it has to be like that. But in reality, no, not of course. Like, the artist had to put a lot of thoughts into making the artwork as it is, and making this feel so perfect is not happening. It's not something natural that just happened. A lot of work went into it, and you forget about it. It's your job as the viewer is to forget about it, is to forget that it was hard to make. So it feels easy. It feels like it was a piece of cake to create a drawing like that. No, it's not an original, it's a copy, it's a master copy. All right. I haven't transferred the original drawing on the paper. It's not transferred. I copied it myself with my own eyes. So no, it's not transferred. All right. Oh. Oh my God, sorry for the camera. Let me switch. Okay, hey. Let me switch to this one actually. Alright, so this was an amazing episode. I love this artist so much. Mucha, definitely a huge inspiration. I think I'm gonna take more of this. I'll let you know what I do with this. Maybe I'll do a study, a painting study of that. Because it all started with this. I wanted flowers. And Mucha was an artist that I really love how he paints these flower patterns. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these flowers. Let me know if you would like to see a painting of that, a sort of a floral study next. Actually, just that looks amazing. But maybe a floral study next would be cool. I don't know. Let me know. And but yeah, thank you for being here, my friends. As always, like before you leave, and I'll see you for the next episode. And it was great. It was great fun. Join the Discord, all that good stuff. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you for the next episode. My friends, time